Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 4 of season 1 of Devil May Cry. Last episode ended with a bang as quite literally the bomb in Dante's neck went off just before he was about to transform, as Rabbit was luring him to the edge, pushing him, trying to get his demon blood to kind of surge and release for some end, because he's now got the amulet, he's got the sword, there's missing components still that he needs. We're not exactly sure what that is just yet. Dante survived the bomb, though, if not completely had his face remodeled by it. Not looking so great right now. That all said, let's get ready to hop into this. If you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. It's just a great way to support the channel, help us do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. With that all said out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 4, All Hope Abandoned. Here we go.
It's impossible. We have no recorded cases of any demon higher than type 2. Their power level marks them as type 4s, at least.
So we have a power scale. Nice.
The rabbit has Sparta's sword and both halves of the amulet. That's everything it needs to blow our world wide open. So why is this wall still standing?
He makes a very good point.
The amulet stopped a few miles north. This dumb fuck devil spawn has no idea it's leading us right to it.
You are so cocky. It's 100% a trap.
The way you charged in to take the rabbit on solo, you got some elite-sized balls.
Again, a huge blind spot.
I can take his place, Lieutenant. That blast from the rabbit's sword laid me out, but I'm good now. I want to see.
And then an actual demon's going to be right here, and she's none the wiser.
Let's go get this carrot-munching motherfucker.
I will say sometimes her trying to sound cool sounds so terrible.
You have to keep this safe, always. You promise?
I promise. Where's mine? I want mine now.
Virgil, do you promise to?
Yeah, I promise. Give it.
I think mine's bigger.
No, it's not. Let me see.
Jeez.
Hey.
God, could you imagine raising them?
I said enough!
I'm not sleepy enough.
You're never sleepy. Why can't you be more like your brother? What story do you want tonight?
Tell me about Dad.
Your dad. Your dad?
And then he passes out.
Son of Sparta.
Oof, what a transition. I think it's interesting, like the differences in Vergil and him as kids there. Vergil kind of always envious, wanting his piece, his attention.
We're prisoners again.
Oh my goodness. But then to also be the first to pass out, with Dante really kind of caring about the immaterial. It's interesting.
I know your voice and your face. Aren't you the guy in all those mattress commercials? Close. He's the vice president. You're awake.
Remind me again, which of you is the Human Torch knockoff and which is the talking leaf blower?
You sure you want to be insulting us right now? And he's obviously the leaf blower. Come on! Agni, the Vergil.
Have you considered what I told you? Surely you see how he must have a plan for you to bring you back from the brink of death.
I think death's still very much on the table for all of us.
No, this isn't where my death will come.
How do you know?
He seems very certain about
Because
that.
God will not allow it until the purpose he intends for me is fulfilled. We are all servants of the Lord's plan.
Which is...
willingly or not.
Welcome aboard. We ask that you please pay attention to the screen for an important safety announcement. You're all going to die. That is, unless the son of Sparta can save you.
Oh, this is all a ploy to push him further. Meanwhile, they're running into what I can only assume is a trap.
Strange hideout for a demon bunny. What'd you expect? Some sort of giant underground burrow? I mean, I don't know.
Backup's still 4 minutes out.
Fair enough,
we
man.
Can't wait. We go in now. Take the stairs and stay sharp. We have to be ready for any kind of fucked up demon bull. Shit.
Who could have saw that coming?
Attention all residents. A terrorist group known as DARKCOM has just entered the building.
Their intentions are extremely hostile.
Oh, wait. Is this a demon hideout?
Not engaging with them in a friendly or neutral manner will be subject to immediate execution.
Oh, wow. Purposefully inciting friction between the two sides. These demons probably are just refugees or whatever.
This is way more sophisticated technology than we've seen any of them use before. What kind of demon is this?
One slightly worse than your usual landlord.
Oh! Oh, shit.
An energy sword. Fascinating.
Well, holy shit. Honestly, I didn't expect any of the regulars to die. At least before the halfway point. Oh. Oh no. Oh my god. Good job, Mary. Look what you have done. I mean, it's not exclusively you, but still. Oh. Oh. Dude, they might all die here. They are dropping like flies. Wow.
Stay with me. Please.
You'll be going right with him soon, I'm sure.
No.
None of you are needed. Oh. Yep, there they go.
Yes, watch them die. After all, it was you who marched them straight into our warm embrace.
Embrace!
Oh, what is this elevator made of? Festering her hatred further, man. Wow. That's why you always check for traps. Roll perception.
Yes, Dante, I've known your true origins for some time. And if you're honest with yourself, you know it too. The deadbeat father you never met, who abandoned your family without a thought, was the noble and exalted demon knight, Sparta.
Sure thing. Can you believe this guy?
He's like, yeah, I kind of do.
You know nothing of the pain and misery in our world. What your father dooms us to with his sadistic barrier.
Oh, interesting.
He rebelled against a brutal tyrant, then locked us in a cell together, while he lived as a hero among humans.
Oh, I like this.
Nothing
him talk about your dad like that?
Sorry, got off on a tangent there. The point is, the plane you're on is rigged with explosives. As Sparta's son, it should be simple for you to activate your devil trigger and save them all. I bet on it.
Yep, this is all to get him to give in.
It's all right, everyone. Dante's gonna use that devil trigger of his to save us. What is a devil trigger anyway?
No idea.
Great, we're gonna die.
No, we're not. I don't need any kind of trigger to beat these two. What are they gonna do? Form half a Captain Planet?
I wouldn't be so cocky, mate. After all, you failed at saving your own mum and brother.
Ooh.
It's all about what happened to them, pal. You just hid and watched as they died.
I was a helpless kid when those demons attacked us. I'm not one anymore.
Let's see if we can't make you feel a little nostalgic.
I love this idea, the consequences of Sparta's actions from the other side. Hello. Should get hit with fear toxin. Not only are we fighting the rabbit, we're fighting Scarecrow as well.
You killed us.
Just like you killed.
No!
Oh! Oh, not even there. Oof.
Dad?
Look at what you've done.
This isn't real. You're not real. You're real.
I was gonna say, blend in some real shit with these delusions, and who knows?
Go away, get out of here.
There's nowhere to go. I know the rabbit threatened you, has everyone here hostage, but there's a demon right behind me.
Yeah.
With those soldiers, we don't want any trouble.
There are no more soldiers. The demons killed them all. It's just me.
But that's
Please.
the thing, they're demons.
Quickly.
Oh, I love this. This is good.
No.
Because I love this. This is something the games have very minutely touched on. If someone like Sparta in his position would get the inkling to do good and turn against his own kind, he can't have been the only one. Like, they are not a monolith. Oh, God.
Seems like that strange spider gave you won't be much use up here.
As useless as a man himself. The way we heard it, he didn't even bother showing up to protect you.
Wow. Ooh. Gnarly combo.
On the bright side. After watching your whole family die, to these people die should be easy for you.
Oh.
The one time you're fighting for something other than yourself. And this is how you do it?
God, they are laying into him.
You're just like your dad.
Oh, is she gonna
Your dad was a brave warrior. He fought against all the bad things so we could be free.
Oh! Did he?
You're right. I am like him.
Hell yeah. Not a full trigger, but it's something.
This is a devil trigger. Also, I think I'm the son of Sparta.
He's ready. Blow the charges. Yeah. Just give me a second to kill him first.
You can try. He's starting to believe. Oh! Hell yeah.
Can't be embarrassing.
We risked everything to hide you. Now you turn your gun on us, on our kids? We want nothing from you. Just leave, please.
Your friend slaughtered my team.
You think we're with them?
She's a sapien. Of course she thinks all demons are the same.
If you're not with the White Rabbit's gang, why are you here?
We needed a way out. He had one.
A way out of where?
Makai. You call it the demon realm.
Oh.
But it's not hell. It's worse. A desolate place barely suited for life. And that was before the warlords ravaged what few resources we had. And turned the atmosphere toxic. Only the strongest Makaians can stand to breathe it.
Children rarely survive their first year. We couldn't accept that fate.
Weak-ass sob story. And it doesn't explain how the overgrown rodent got you into our realm.
With a device that he built. He showed up with it a year ago, offering passage to this world for anyone who wanted.
But it's small. Oh, I like this.
There is no better world for us. Sapiens hate and fear our kind.
We have no choice but to stay here in hiding, doing whatever that lunatic tells us.
Children who are orphans, he does tests on them.
Oh.
Experiments.
All we're trying to do is survive, like you.
I know better than to trust the words of a demon. But after everything that's happened, maybe I don't actually know shit.
Hey, at least she's confident enough to admit that. Let's go.
I'll find a way to get them in, then I'm going rabbit hunting.
It's wabbit season. I'm gonna call you Elmer Fed from now on. Let's go, Elmer.
You killed my brother. And unlike you, he will have vengeance.
Don't do it.
All right, man, you're gonna have to go full trigger here and get those wings out or something. Let's go. Damn, I didn't expect that to be the end of the episode, but let's go. I love this. I love this. So Rabbit's plan is completely seemingly disconnected. He's trying to undo what Sparta did because, like he said, he took out the tyrant, but he just trapped us all in there with the remnants. There was no escape. There was no asylum for those that didn't align with the warlords, with everybody else. And just, as this power vacuum was created, quite literal, hell broke loose on the other side, rending everybody that wasn't thrilled with Mundus's rule to be trapped with the fallout and this destabilization. Like they said, after his fall, these warlords started garnering power and taking things over and poisoning the air. I like that they even called it Makai, which is yet another Capcom-esque reference that they got kind of going on there, which is cool. Also just kind of adding to the way that, again, we kind of vilify and externalize ourselves. Again, these worlds used to be the same. It's not like humans are without these stains. They talk about, demons being the stain on Dante's soul, but we know humans can be fucking vile. Like, it's not exclusive to demons. And there's always been this like idea in the back of my mind, and it's not something that the games have really tackled. Why just Sparta, Why was he the one good demon? He was the only good one. That was always kind of a stickly little pain point for me. And I like that they're kind of tackling into this. Is like, he's not. He wasn't. There are probably a great many that probably felt very similar to him, or just completely passive. They're just minding their own business or anything of the sort, but they were trapped with the lot in life that they had, being a demon and then being born in Makai. But then he just has this change of heart, seals and locks it off, leave them no exit out for themselves. And he also gives himself the privilege of staying on the human side of things, where he eventually meets Eva and spawns the children, Vergil and Dante, and all of that. We don't really know Sparta's side of the story in all of this for the most part. A lot of that has been very vague and is, like they've said, but only kind of been told through these legends, which again always has a perspective. Everything does, every myth does. This is kind of shine a little bit of a light on that, because then you're seeing like the demon fall out of that. I do believe, and have believed, even like playing the games, like it feels very one-sided to say that he was the only, in the multitude of demons, the only one, and the only one with a position of power that could do anything about it. Yeah, he was quite literally the strongest demon in hell, if he's also strong enough to single-handedly take out the king of hell. Stumbling upon this and seeing that the rabbit, while doing all these different things, seemingly for the good of these demons, there's also the other side of that, which for whatever research he's doing, because they said that he takes the orphans and uses them in research in his experiments. He's also not wholly altruistic even towards his own kind. Maybe for him, there's like a necessary evil he needs to exact on his own people in order for his plan to come to fruition. But it seems like he's been using Vergil's piece of the amulet to open these small portals to smuggle people into the human world, where, like they said, is like, we can't just commingle. We're just here in a different cage. So like, it's really interesting to kind of see that idea brought to life in this. But in this way, part of Mary's journey is challenging her perspective on demons. Even in the game, she's like, all demons are scum. And through Dante and learning and getting to know him, there's this awakening that comes that opens her mind along the way, that not all of them are the same. They are not a monolith. Though technically in the games, outside of that messaging, which falls kind of completely flat in hindsight, because she's just trying to get over the fact that Dante's got demon blood, and then there's this whole idea that maybe even devils are capable of love and loss and grief and all these other things that humans can have. At the end of the day, though, the series as a whole and the games never really dive into that any deeper. It's only really our hybrids that the games, at least to my immediate knowledge, ever kind of tried to shine a good light on, is only the hybrids. It's only the ones that are part human. But then again, we know for a fact Sparta was pure demon, because in the games it's ever really just, one day he just awoke to justice on a whim, randomly, and turned against the demon king Mundus, and then he sealed them off and kept them locked on the other side while he stayed as the sole protector in the human realm. And in the games, like, it's very black and white, humans good, demons bad, with the few bad apples, like with a couple of characters, humans that want to obtain the power of demons and all this kind of stuff. It's all pretty standard moral black and whites in the games for the most part. But it always did kind of make me go like, what was that trigger for Sparta? What happened there? And statistically speaking, can he really be the only one? These are questions that, as I got older, I started to ask, and the games never really dove into that all much, because it's just like, as much as humanity has the potential for evil, they also have a potential for great good that demons don't have at all, except for a couple of instances like Sparta, like Trish, if you really want to count her. She's kind of an anomaly in and of herself, but that's getting into her origins, and that's a whole other thing. She's a very unique situation. I do like a good standard good versus evil kind of story, but also don't mind that they're taking this and trying to have a little bit of a conversation about that perception about all of this. And that seems like what the show's kind of trying to do. I think they're handling it pretty okay so far. I'm very curious to see how it's going to parse out through the rest of the show, if we're going to dive into it any deeper than this. I mean, because we're still dealing with ladies' internalized bigotry towards them, you know, based on her personal experiences, which is something they follow through on in the games as well. When she first meets Dante in the game, she just straight attacks him. She doesn't even know who he is. She doesn't even know if he's a demon. She just shoots him. I think it's just because he was there, to be fair. A couple other times, she just blaps him right in the face. Not even know if he could survive it, too, you know? She only knows after the fact that he can take it when he just kind of brushes it off. Because, again, it's her tunnel vision and her underestimation and her vilification of them as this monolith that has caused her to lead her team into this trap. She thinks they are the smartest people in the group. Demons are just low-tech, unintelligent, kind of whatever. She thinks so lowly of them and so highly of herself, she got her entire team killed and is completely oblivious to the fact that there are 2 moles within her own unit. And then to come in here and witness her entire team die as a result, and then to be saved by demons. Love it. Beautiful storytelling right there for her. And I also think that's really interesting because, you know, after her team gets slaughtered, she gets gassed, and then she's got to deal with these illusions and the reality because she can't really distinguish between the two. And that's almost in its own way a metaphor for her worldview unraveling and being challenged as she's going through all of this. There's the delusions and illusions she's created about them as a monolith, as a species, that she's also having to confront, as well as her own vagaries that also, I'm sure a lot of it, like we've seen, like her as a child, was conditioning, predisposed stuff we all see growing up as kids, and the way that affected her, and then whatever personal tragedies she experienced across her life that really reinforced a lot of those ideas. You know, now she's got to kind of reconcile with the fact that maybe all that was just cope, all that was just an illusion, and that her ignorance was a way to distance herself from having to connect and challenge and confront any of that. I don't know. Some fun stuff. Not some stuff I really expected us to dive into. And then for the flip side of this, as much as she's trying to vilify Dante, he's the target and purely just a tool for their own means. Sparta is this disgusting figure to them that did this horrible wrong to their kind and locking them in there with all these other tyrants and monsters or whatever of their own with nowhere to go. And now, you know, they're here, they need the key, then all these other components so they can finally break that barrier down and undo what he did and get out the people that want to get out and just stop being trapped in this cage. So he's made this kind of personal and made Dante the avenue of that just purely because of who his father is. And I'm assuming that his devil trigger is needed for whatever he needs to do with this. They haven't touched on the other thing from the games that is a component to this that hasn't seemingly come up just yet. For the most part, it seems like the rabbit needs Dante to be able to activate his full demon form. And he only got kind of part of the way through this as Agni and Rudra are just laying into him about his past, losing his mother, you're talking shit about his dad. Speaking of Sparta in the games, we also, as far as I know, never know where he went. Like after he sired the 2 kids, I don't recall us ever getting an explanation of where he goes. We know he leaves, and then what happens to him after the fact is unknown, but we do get confirmation that he dies of some undisclosed event. We don't know why he left, and as far as I know, we never find out why he left and wasn't there to protect his family or anything of the sort. We don't really have those answers, at least to my knowledge. Meanwhile, you got the vice president who's just like sitting here like talking about like he knows more than he's letting on as well, that he's like, I know for a fact I don't die here. Well, how do you know that, sir? Is it just purely because he thinks it's just because he's a man of God that he has faith that he will be spared that? Or does he know? Like, did he get a vision or word of when and how he dies? And this just isn't the moment yet. You know, there's a lot of like questions around that is really interesting. You know, now that we're at the halfway point of the season, you know, both our protagonists are at this transitionary point, this point of transformation. Just as she's thought she's understood the world as this black and white entity this entire time, and that's now been challenged, and her eyes are being opened to all of this, and maybe she doesn't know everything, and that she's starting to reconcile with that. Meanwhile, Dante is finally accepted who and what he is, even if he maybe had always known that. Maybe he just, you know, willfully neglected diving into that or accepting that, and now he's on the verge of doing that. I'm loving not having a fucking clue where anything's going at the moment, man. It's kind of fun. It's fun. As much as I really want, like when we have like a transition of medium like this, for newcomers to have a gateway into it, like if you're not a gamer, to come into a story and get the story I know and love translated into an authentic way. I love that. Like if this was a 1-for-1 adaptation with expansions and additions to the lore, you know, given more time and attention to certain things, that obviously because you are locked behind a singular perspective in the driver's chair of the game, that they can do these other things and expand upon what you're able to see and experience there through the visual medium of a show like this. As much as I would have, that's ideally what I would have loved. I am getting quite the kick out of this because a lot of that core essence is there. All the important components, the character personalities, the lore, outside of a couple little tweaks and additions like with DARKCOM and stuff like that, but it's also very different. So a lot of this is like, I have no fucking clue what to expect. And the way that they're pulling from pretty much everywhere in the canon to kind of inform upon this story, it's really interesting. Like as its own kind of Elseworld story, I'm having a lot of fun. As much as I would have loved like a true like 1-to-1 adaptation in the vein of like The Last of Us, where it does all the important beats, but then also gives you more. I would have loved that. I'm also equally having a lot of fun with this because I feel like, as much as I feel like I know shit, I also don't. And sometimes I can work against a show like Halo. And sometimes this actually can be a lot of fun when it keeps the spirit alive. And that's what I think the show is, at least so far, doing really well. But guys, what did you think? How do you feel? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, you check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Sherritt, Your Course God, Robert Aguiano, Jeffrey L, Jake Contrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crocker, Watchtower, Domi, and Gregory Toner. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.